All right, so are we live? I can see us on Facebook. I'm going to check us out on YouTube. Most importantly, let's hope that the audio is working. How is everybody? Happy Monday morning. Happy Monday morning. I'm going to give us about 10 seconds for everybody to hop on while I test out what's going on with the audio. This seems to be working. So I have the comment section on YouTube up and running. I have the comment section on Facebook up and running. So I'll make sure that I monitor as best to my abilities on both. So if you have any questions, we are going to dive into them. Again, I don't want to make it a habit of going into a long announcements or anything like that, because I want to get right into the content, especially because when this becomes a recording, if for the people that did not catch it live, then they don't have a lot of filler or a lot of fluff at the beginning of the video. So that way they immediately get into the content. So thank you so much for joining. If you're live, let me know if you are here and if you can hear it. That would be fantastic. So today we're going to talk about Facebook traffic ads. There's been a lot of changes with Facebook traffic ads. Some of those changes are going to affect you dramatically. And this isn't me trying to tease this out. This is actually a really good, cool thing that has happened with Facebook traffic ads that you do need to take a look at, especially in the special ad category, because there's a lot of goodness that is coming out of the latest changes that have happened. And I'll get into those as we continue going. So I do have to make one brief announcement. Sorry, I just said I wasn't going to do a lot of announcements, but I have to start right off with this. We are going to move our time to 9 a.m. Central. So right now we're doing 10 a.m. Central, going live here on YouTube, going live on Facebook. So if you want those links, they will be linked down below so you can get to them. But we're going to move it to 9 a.m. Central. It just works a little bit better from the analytics standpoint, and I'll show you what that means in a couple of well, actually, I'll just link that down below on why the decision, and also just personally, it helps out a ton as well. So sooner the better for me in that regard. So let me know what you think about that. I'm curious to hear. And also the Agent Lead Source podcast is up and running. So be sure to look that up wherever you are, wherever you get your podcast, whether that's Apple, Google, Spotify, all the other podcast platforms. I was going through those and setting all those up, which I'll share a video. Actually, a video is going to come on live next in 2 or 3 days, me showing you how I actually did the podcast. So giving you the behind the scenes if you're curious about starting a podcast. All right, so with that being said, let's get into it. We came here for some Facebook traffic ads, especially in the special ad category, and the changes that have happened with the service or with this type of campaign. So let me just share the screen real quick, and we're going to dig into this if I can figure out how to share. All right, so I hope that you're able to see this screen right now. I'll move a lot of these Zoom things out of the way so you are watching everything. So we're going to run some traffic campaigns. We're going to run a traffic ad, especially now more than ever. You want to know exactly what has happened with the traffic campaigns. So these traffic ads have changed dramatically, so you need to know how to actually use them. So we're going to dive right into it. We're here at the Ads Manager. So to get here, all you have to do is log into your personal account. And on the top right-hand side, you can see a drop-down arrow. And then when you hit that drop-down arrow, it's going to say Manage Ads towards the middle. It's going to show you right here. So it may not start out at the Ads Manager level, but all you have to do is go to the left-hand side. There's going to be 9 dots. You click on Ads Manager, and you're off and running. So assuming you have multiple accounts, you're going to select the actual account that you want to run your ads from, and then hit create. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to hit create. If there's any questions that come up, just let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll make sure that I address them. Whether you're on Facebook, whether on YouTube, I'll make sure that in some natural stopping points, I will pause and go a little bit slower and actually address those questions. If preferably, I would like to address the questions that are from this particular the topic that we're covering right now, which is the traffic ads. But if you have any questions that if for whatever reason we're not able to connect and you were just curious about a question, just let me know. I'll be happy to field those wherever possible. All right, so we're going to choose a campaign objective. Today, we're going to hit the traffic campaign. So this traffic objective or traffic ad, however you want to say that, you're going to hear me say objective campaign and ad interchangeably. It's not the best way of doing it, but that's the way that I've been doing it. So we're going to try to stay with traffic objective. Let's stay there. Let's make it a goal. I'm going to call it traffic objective as much as possible. With the traffic objective, this is the most versatile type of campaign that you can run. If you're trying to increase your YouTube promotion, if you're trying to send traffic to your website, if you're trying to install an app, whatever the case may be, this is going to be the most versatile that you can use. There I go, campaign. The traffic objective is and this is the most universal, and some big changes have happened, and I'll show you what that means at the ad level. So we're going to hit traffic. Let's change it. We're going to say traffic campaign. I just can't get to objective. So let's just say traffic campaign. We're going to run the traffic campaign just to show you the options right here. You can pre-name them if you want, but I don't like doing that. So I'm just going to go to continue. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them down in the Facebook. If you're over on the Facebook group, which is linked down below, or if you're on YouTube, let me know there as well. All right, so when we get to the naming convention, what I like to do is call out the type of campaign that I'm running. So it's traffic, and then the type of ad that I'm running. So from the campaign level, you see right here, I think this is going to be, since this is a special ad category, I'm just going to put special ad category because I don't know which one I'm going to go with yet. All right. So again, this is the campaign, the objective, and then over here, the type of ad that I'm running, which is down here. And you're seeing that I leave this blank. I don't have a naming. So this is where the ad set name goes. If you are only split testing or only running one type of targeting at the ad set level, then you can go ahead and name it right there. Again, this is just my naming convention. Everybody has their own way of doing it. I just like being able to click at the campaign level and see exactly what's going on with that ad. I like clicking at the ad set level and seeing exactly what's going on with that ad. And same thing with the ad. This way I don't get lost. I don't have to continue toggling back and forth. I know how to make the decisions, or I know what's going on with my campaigns a lot quicker, and I'm able to make decisions that way. So I'm going to copy this because I'm going to need this in a couple of minutes. All right, so let's talk about the special ad category, because this is really the driver of this video. A special ad category, one big thing that has happened in the last couple of weeks has been the introduction of the social issues, elections, and politics. So in the past, towards the end of 2019, credit, employment, and housing became a little bit more scrutinized when we were talking about advertising here on Facebook. And that was something that is, whether right, wrong, or indifferent, it's something that happened. So we needed to adjust to that. And it'll give you examples or a little bit more clarity of what that means. If you're running credit card offers, auto loans, so mortgage, anything like that. Employment, you see professional certification programs or related opportunities, ads for real estate listings, home ownership, mortgage loans, everything that has to do with housing. And now the latest edition has been ads about social issues such as the economy, civil rights, social actions, elections, or political figures or campaigns. Basically, what you need to take away from this special ad category are two things. Your targeting is going to be limited. So when it comes to the demographics that you were able to really drill down into and advertise specifically to those, know that that's no longer going to be the case. That is, you're going to have to go a little bit broader. Now, it doesn't mean that the audience at the end of the computer screen are not there. It just means that you're not able to target them directly. So what does that mean? That means that you're no longer able to target the homeowners directly. You're no longer able to target people that have children of a certain age group. So again, this is in regards to the targeting, the special ad category. If you run ads that have nothing to do with the special ad category, then congratulations, you're still able to really be hyper local with your advertising. But if you're running ads in the special ad category, know that that's what's happening. So the targeting is going to be limited, and the ad that you run is going to be more scrutinized. So there's a good chance that the ad copy that you were running for forever, now that you're trying to run it with the special ad category, there's a good chance that that's not going to fly. There's a good chance that it's going to get flagged, suppressed, and or flat out rejected. So just be aware of that again, your targeting is a little bit limited, and you'll see that at the ad set level when we get to that. And then at the ad level, you're going to see that it's going to be more scrutinized. So you're not going to be able to make financial claims. You're not going to be able to call out specific group of people. You're essentially, you're going to need to make it a little bit more general, a little bit more broad as opposed to really drill down into the people that you were trying to reach out to. So that is that's basically what I can tell you about the ad part. That ad part is a lot more subjective. That ad part is a lot more subjective. That some of your ads can actually get approved, while if you run it at another date, they may get denied. So just be aware that the actual ad part, that's a bit more that would be a little bit more difficult. So we're going to go with housing, because that's what you see a lot on this channel, which in regards to real estate lead generation. So we're going to go with housing. The auction type, that stays the same. It's auction. The campaign objective, traffic. Well, we're not going to change that because that is what we selected for this video, the traffic campaign. So it doesn't make sense to then switch over to the lead campaign. It's not going to make much sense. And you can do A/B split testing. So A/B testing is basically you launching various campaigns at the same time. That's all it is. I don't like doing it that way, because even for me, when I have all this experience, it is a little bit complicated for me. It gets a little bit confusing. So I don't like doing it that way. I actually like launching the campaign first and then duplicating it and then doing the split testing that I want at that point. The campaign budget optimization, that means that you're selecting the budget. If I toggle that on, you're selecting the budget from the campaign level. That means that if you have $100 at the campaign level, regardless of how many ads, regardless of how many ad sets you create over here and over here, it's still going to be $100. So you're not able to allocate into individual ad sets or individual ads. If you go with the campaign budget optimization, that's what Facebook does. Facebook, you're saying, hey, Facebook, here's $100. I'm going to create 4 split tests between A, B, C, and D at the ad set level. And I want you, Facebook, to allocate that 100 budgets and you're $100. So you can see that Facebook is going to favor one account or ad set that it seems or it feels will actually give it more results. So that's what the campaign budget optimization is. I don't like running ads that way. I don't know why it is. It's something that that's I just don't. I like split testing, true split testing, where I give the ad set $5, ad set A $5, ad set B $5, ad set C, D, however much budget I have, I like allocating it individually. So we're going to go to next. But there's nothing wrong with you going with the campaign budget optimization. That's just a preference of mine. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to go with I'm just pasting the naming convention. I like to be consistent. So at this point, let's just say I'm going to go with the Zillow interest. And I'll show you what that means in a couple of seconds. Traffic, choose where you want to drive traffic. So you can see you're going to send traffic to the website, to an app, so they can install it, to Messenger. If you click Messenger, it actually converts it into a messages campaign. And then WhatsApp. So we don't really run WhatsApp. I can only think of one time that we actually ran WhatsApp campaigns at scale. So what I can tell you about WhatsApp campaigns is that you want to run WhatsApp campaigns with only the mobile in mind. So just mobile in mind, be very mobile centric, because that's where most of the people actually use WhatsApp. All right. So again, we're not going to dig into that. We're actually going to go with website because that's the most universal and most flexible type of campaign to run. All right. Dynamic creative. I know that we as real estate agents, so if you're running this type of campaign, you are very curious about dynamic creative. Just know that you have to upload several images, several headlines. It's another form of split testing, but dynamic creative, from my experience, works better if you have several services, works better if you have multiple products. So just think of it as if you are selling shoes as an example. So you have different sizes, you have different colors, you have different models. So uploading your entire database of products or SKUs, whatever you want to call them, and it'll automatically go through and create the combinations that are more likely to get clicked. It's a phenomenal thing to run. It's actually pretty awesome. But when it comes to real estate, you don't really have too many services. You're either helping buyers buy, helping sellers sell, rent, or lease. So it doesn't necessarily make sense in that regard. But you're more than welcome to try it, upload different elements, and it's a different way of split testing. It's just more it's better for products and different services. So I'll just leave it at that. drive more conversions by creating an offer people can serve and get reminders about. So when it comes to the offer, that's a discount that you can make to get more people to the door. Again, in real estate, it may not make the most sense unless you're offering something, whatever you're offering, to incentivize people to use you. But at this point, it doesn't make too much sense. We're not going to worry about the daily budget. What I can say about the daily budget, because it always comes up, is, well, how much should I spend? I can tell you that you at least want to spend $10 a day to see some meaningful impact in your business. You at least want to do $10 a day. If you can do 20, if you can do 100, if you can do 1,000, of course, that's going to be fantastic. But I understand that the budget is a big consideration for everybody. So what I can tell you is, if you're going to invest in learning Facebook ads, if you're going to invest in actually running these ads and see some meaningful movement in your business, you want to do at least $10 a day, especially with the ad copies that you see in this channel. With $10 a day, you're going to get several up at bats, i.e. you're going to get several leads right off the bat. So be sure that you're at least giving it some time to work and a little bit of budget to work from. All right, so that's a little bit about the budget. I know everybody likes a formula. The old formula used to be $1 for every 10,000 people. But again, that is subjective for one, and that's what I used to teach, but no longer the case. If you have the budget and are ready and understand how to run these ads, then I would actually front load the budget. So if you were allocating, let's just say $500 a month, then I would accelerate it and do $100 a day. I would much rather see what happens in those 5 days than the 30 days of results that are going to be a little bit more, they're going to be skewed. So another way of saying, spend as much as you can up front to get to the answers quicker. I think that's a better way of presenting it. When it comes to the audiences, if you have a custom audience or if you have a lookalike audience, here in the special ad category, it's called the special ad audience. This is where you would call it back out. So if you click on here, you're going to see some custom audiences that I have. In the special ad audience, I have not created one with this particular ad account. And then custom audiences right back here, which is basically this. So custom audiences, again, is an audience that you set up on Facebook that is unique to you. You can upload your database. You can create a custom audience of people that engage with your Facebook. You can create a custom audience of people that visited your website. You can create a custom audience of people that viewed your videos, that opened lead forms, that visited or interacted with your Instagram page. There's a lot of custom audiences that you can create. And I have other videos in this channel that give you an in-depth explanation of how that works. All right, and how to create them. So let me know if you have any questions. After we get through the ad set, I will pause and I will address all the questions that come in on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, smash like, that would be fantastic. If you're here on YouTube, if you smash like as well, I won't blame you. And let me know if you have any questions. I'll address those. I see a few questions have come in, so thank you so much. I'll address them as soon as we get through the ad set, because that's a good breaking point for us. All right, so that's a bit about the custom audiences. Let's go into the location. Whenever you're advertising, I highly encourage you to flip this option right here that says people living in or recently in this location. Flip that over to people living in this location. That's primarily who you want to target, people that are in the area that you want to market to, as opposed to people that visited there from another place. Unless you're in relocation, specifically talking about the housing ads, then it doesn't make sense for you to go the other way around. This way you save a little bit of more money and are getting leads from people that actually live in the area that you're farming, as opposed to another state, another country. So that's a little pro tip right there. When it comes to the area, let's just go to San Antonio. We're going to go to San Antonio right down the road. So you have city. And you can see that with the 15-mile, this is the default setting, 15-mile radius. This is the smallest that you can get. You're basically covering the entire San Antonio area, which is 1.7 million of potential people being reached. So that's a lot. That's a considerable amount. You would need hundreds of thousands of dollars to fully saturate this audience right here and really saturate it. Well, maybe thousands of dollars, not hundreds of thousands of dollars. All right, so we're going to leave it at that, and then we're going to drill down a little bit. This is where the Zillow part comes into play. Age, since we are doing a special ad category, we're not able to adjust based off of age. We're not able to adjust based off of gender. So these filters, these adjustments, you're not able to do from the age standpoint, from the gender standpoint. And when we go to demographics, interests, or behaviors, really we're not able to do anything with demographics because it's not available, and behaviors. So you're only limited to interest. So what this means is you're not able to target that the parents of adult children. You're not able to target people that are homeowners. You're not able to target people that are renters. You're not able to target based off of demographics, which is okay. That has been around for quite a few months now. So we have made the adjustments. So what you can do at this point in time is adjust based off of Zillow. Let's just say interest in Zillow. Those people that are interested in that, interested in that page, interested in that website, that interact with the Zillow listings, with the Zillow post, and just have some level of interest in that group, in that page. And you can also do the same thing when you go to suggestions. You can do the same thing for Trulia. You can do the same thing for homes, house hunting, real estate. So these are interests. Again, these are people that, this isn't demographic. This is what they are interested in. So that's why I selected Zillow. This would be the ad that I would launch if I was going to go through and press confirm. When I go to Zillow, or I'm sorry, targeting Zillow, I'm going to split test that versus those people that are interested in Trulia. So notice that some subtle distinctions right here. I am going to run it. I'm going to run this ad as it is, because you see it can potentially reach almost 300,000 people. And then I would duplicate the ad, and then I would split test it versus Trulia. This way, I know which interest is giving me a better return. So there may be people that are interested in Trulia that are giving me way more contact information or becoming more leads as opposed to Zillow. So this way, you're not guessing, you're split testing what's working, the interests that are working. And you can do the same thing with the ads, the actual ads themselves. So I'm going to leave this for now. All right, so the rest of it stays the same. And when it comes to placements, if you're retargeting placements, so if you're retargeting, if you're retargeting or doing some sort of custom audiences, then I do suggest that you leave automatic placements on. That way you get a broader reach. So if your audience is not all that large, you're okay leaving it in the automatic placements, because you'd much rather have your message be out there as much as possible with the budget that you have, which oftentimes if you're retargeting, you have much more budget than you actually have audience. But since at this point, we don't have much more budget than we have audience, it's the other way around, meaning we have more audience than budget. We're gonna go to manual placements. And then right here, you're gonna see that this is the most versatile ad campaign that you can run. The traffic campaign is gonna show up in most every possible placement except messages. So you'll see messenger inbox out, you're going to see messages out, and then you're going to see audience network in-stream videos. So you can see that the traffic campaign, again, is the most versatile one. It's going to show up everywhere. But with that being said, with that large of an audience, we don't want to show up everywhere. We want to go to the proven placements that will get us leads and will get us traffic. So what I just went through right there was Xing all the others out and going just with the Facebook newsfeed. Now, don't take my word for it. Absolutely do it, but don't take my word for it. Actually split test it on your own campaign. Split test it versus the Instagram feed. But it goes back to launching your campaign, duplicating the ad, and then toggling on the Instagram feed. That way you're split testing apples to apples with the same topic campaign in the same ad, but the only thing that's different right here is the placements. That's how you split test. Don't split test everything at once, because that's not going to work. All right, so let me know if you have any questions down below. I see a few questions over here. I see a few questions over here, so I'll address them. All right, so when it comes to optimization and delivery, you're going to see right here, choose an event you want to optimize for in your ad set. Your selection affects who sees your ads to get you the desired outcome. For example, if you choose optimize for link clicks, we'll show your ad to the people most likely to click your link. That tells us a lot right there. That's very important. It's easy to bypass it. So you would naturally think, well, yeah, I want people that are going to click on my ad. That's awesome, right? You want people that are going to engage. However, when you have the option of landing page views, check this out. We'll deliver your ads to people who are more likely to click on your ads link, load the website, or instant experience. So load the website, That's what we're after. We want our ads to at least load up. People can click all day long, but they can always bounce out immediately. So they may be the instant clickers that are going to click on everything, and that's fantastic. But we would much rather optimize for landing page views where our page at least showed up, at least uploaded, which it's not going to really guarantee that people paid attention to your messaging, but it's at least going to guarantee that they had an opportunity versus clicks. So you can get people that are instantly clicking, but automatically leave versus optimizing on people that the page actually shows up. So you want to optimize for that at the bare minimum. All right. And then the cost control, we're going to leave it as is for now. And the more options, very rarely do I go there just to see what it says. But there, as you can see, it really doesn't do anything for us. All right. So I have a few questions right here I'm going to address. Osama. Hello, Jaime. Would you help me out? I need effective ad copy. Well, if you stay towards the end, I promise. Let me see if I have one real quick. Effective ad copy. What type of leads are you trying to get? Let me know. So I just did a video last night. Okay, so yeah, I'll hook you up. I'll hook you up with an ad copy. So if you stay to the end, I'm going to show you the exact ad copy to use, which there's a small twist to it that you're going to enjoy. Francisco, hi. Hey, what's up? Hamim, hello. Hello. Thank you for joining. So if you have any questions about the special ad category, the traffic campaign, anything that we're going over, just let me know. I appreciate you being here. So as a reminder, 2 quick things. We're going to do this at 9 a.m. Central moving forward. So I repeat, 9 a.m. Central on Mondays. So you can count me here on Mondays. If you have any questions, if I wasn't able to get to your messages, to your comments, to whatever, you can find me here. There's nowhere else I'm going to go. So you're going to find me here. And also the Agent Lead Source podcast, it will be linked down below. It is live. Wherever you listen to your podcast, that's where it's going to be. And that podcast is also recorded here on this YouTube channel live as well at 9 a.m. on Thursdays. So that's with my good friend, Joseph Gonzalez. So a lot of great things happening right now, a lot of content being produced and a lot of value being provided. So I'd love to see you. All right, so here we go. Let's continue because this is really where the big changes come into play. All right, so traffic, Zillow, special ad category. And at this point, since I just decided I'm going to give you a certain type of ad, this will not make sense. So depending on the type of ad that I'm running, if I was doing a price drop ad, a new construction ad, a just sold ad, a list of homes ad, I would call it out right here. I want to call out what type of ad I ran. In this one, I'll go ahead and change it. It's going to be a just listed ad. All right, so then I would go through and change the rest of them. Right now, it's too much. Well, actually, I can do that just to show you how quick it is. So I just click over here, rename that, click back over here, rename that, go back to the ad, and boom, we're back. So it doesn't need to be, oops, we're not back. Boom, we're back. It doesn't need to be all that complicated. So as soon as you learn how everything is done, it's super easy. All right, so the Facebook page, I'm going to change back to mine. Now, that used to be a thing. What you saw right there was Dallas Homes. I used to have a bunch. Actually, I think I still have a bunch of those, but I don't manage them. There's Dallas Homes, Fort Worth Homes, Texas Homes, every type of homes that you can think of. That used to be a strategy back in the day, but now it's been played out, one, but two, it's not the most compliant thing unless you're actually updating that page and are actively using it. So I don't use that strategy anymore. I just use my page moving forward. It's a lot cleaner. It's a lot easier. I can create large custom audiences based off of this page. Well, this is a training account, so it doesn't matter, but in your neck of the woods, if you're a fan of launching ads in different ad pages or in different business pages, what I ask you to consider is, one, are you following your state regulations? That's one. But two, are you optimizing the engagement that you're getting with your pages? And I venture to guess that a lot of us aren't. So if you're running all of your ads from one business page, you're gathering all of this steam, you're gathering all of this data that your custom audiences are going to make better sense and are going to be more useful, are going to be much more useful going down the road for you. So that's something that I can vouch for. All right, all right, all right. So let's continue. Then you're going to link up to your Instagram placement. We're not running an Instagram placement right now, but if you do have an Instagram account, you can certainly link it up right there. I highly encourage you that you link it up, but we don't have one right now. So we're not going to do anything with that. All right, so create a, the ad setup. Create ad. You see right here, use existing post, use Creative Hub. That is cool. But what we're going to do is a single image versus video. The single image instead of the carousel, instead of the collection. But just so you see what the carousel looks like, you're going to see some cards right here. So this works well if you are advertising new construction as an example, or have different products. So again, this is a special ad category. So if you have a credit option, if you have employment options, if you have housing options, if you have political options, whatever the case may be, if you have options, you're going to put the cards. That works fantastic. So since we're running a housing ad, let's just say if it was a new construction ad, you could highlight model A, model B, model C. So that works all day long. That way it gives you different variations to choose from. Okay, so we're going to go to single image. We're going to add media. We're just going to use that. All right, and there you go. And I promised that I was going to give you an ad copy that works for free. So boom, just listed, looking to move to Dallas, and then you're going to put or San Antonio, put the number of beds, number of bath, garage square feet, get price, address, and pictures, and link. So this just listed ad works all the time. 100% of the time it's going to work. So I haven't met a market that we've been into that it hasn't worked. So if you're taking a property out to market, so you placed it on the MLS, or for those of you that are doing marketing for real estate agents, once it goes live, you just run a just listed ad. You can run it for about 3 weeks from the date that it was listed. That way you can legitimately say that it was just listed versus it's a perpetual listing. And you're highlighting some key features of the home, but more importantly, what you want to get people to do is get the rest of the information. So price, address, pictures, virtual tours, everything else. You're going to put a hyperlink right here of the listing. So ideally, you create a single property website from your CRM, from any website generator that you have. You're going to create a single property website, get that URL, take it over to Bitly, BITLY, and shorten that link. So it takes a URL of 50 characters and reduces it down to 8 or 10. That way you're able to put it right here and it doesn't look so out of place. That way you don't have an entire line, 2, 3, 4 lines of URL that make it a little bit less engaging of an ad. So that's another pro tip right there. Make sure that you include the link right here so you get some free clicks that way, but also that whenever you have the URL, you shorten it so it presents much better. So this just listed ad again works for the properties that were just put onto the market, and that's fantastic. So do you do ads that are straight videos? Yes. So ads in videos are fantastic. So those are, if you're doing a property tour, if you're highlighting a property, if you're sharing information about the market, if you're doing really anything can be turned into a video. You could actually just put pictures of the home, 3 or 4 or 5, and create a little short video so people can see it. There's some motion and it works well that way. And something else that you can do at that point is you can retarget people based off of the ones that actually watched your video. So you can retarget those people that watched your video all the way through. So you see there's a different type of engagement with them. So yes, absolutely. You can do straight to video or straight video ads. That works fantastic. Now headline, what you would put here is just listed. No, you would not. You would put San Antonio just listed. All right. Will not last. Cool. All right. So up until now, you're going to see that this has a lot of the same elements as some other campaigns that you've launched in the past, like a lead generation campaign as an example. That is, up until now, we've done basically the same steps when it comes to the traffic campaign, and you compare it to a lead ad. But going forward, here's the big difference. If you're running a lead ad, you would be asked to create a lead form right here, which is which is fine. That would be the ad that you would be running. But right now, since we're running a traffic campaign, remember that I mentioned to you, it's the most versatile type of campaign that you can run, or campaign objective that you can run. Check out what happens right here. So you can send them to your website. That hasn't changed. That's the same thing that's always been there. Let me exit out of that. That's always been there, the website URL. But check this out. You can now just get them straight to a phone call. Isn't that cool? And this is several weeks old, actually very recent. So when it comes to selecting the destination, you can now just get them the phone, and it's going to work just fine. In the past, you needed to put a URL, but now with the traffic campaign, if you want straight phone calls, then you're going to launch that. Now, make sure that if you have let's just say if you're running it through the night, make sure that either you're going to answer or you're going to have somebody answer. If you have a 24/7 service, just be cautious of that, because people are going to be up at night and watching things at all times of the hour. So they could very well call you at 12 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and you may not be the most presentable at that time. So just be aware of that. But this is absolutely huge. The fact that you can now have people call you directly is crazy awesome. And there's nothing stopping you from putting a link up here as well. That way you kind of double dip, but understand that now the phone call is at play. This is something that was at play on Google Ads. Switching gears for a quick second, just putting things into context. This is something that was at play at Google Ads for the longest time. So you can see that Google is adopting some of the Facebook strategies, and Facebook is adopting some of the Google strategies. So this is actually one of them where people can actually call you directly without putting their website, without you having to put a website. We're not going to do that right now. We're just going to leave it at the URL standpoint. So we would just put www. What am I going to put? Just put that website right there. Yeah, that one doesn't have the pixel, so whatever. Anyway, so you do want to make sure that your pixel is up and running, so you're able to retarget the audience that lands there. But what's super cool about this is that it actually shows you that the pixel is up and running. So we're going to leave it at the website. And when it comes to the display link, you don't have to do anything with that. I actually never do anything with that. And you scroll down, and the rest of the options are pretty much set in stone at that point. So I'm going to scroll back up to really address the website URL question that's going to come up. When it comes to the website, what you want to do is drive people to a website that is really simple down, or really simple, to where somebody clicks on it, they're going to have the information that they're looking for, but also they're going to have the option of giving you their contact information. So keep in mind, with this traffic campaign, we still want leads. Nothing has changed, or we still want business from the people that drive there, that go there. So we want to have somebody give us their contact information. We want to have somebody purchase. So make sure that you give them that opportunity immediately. Present a little bit more about your product, a little bit more about your service, a little bit more about what you're offering, but also make it super approachable, so then they can give you their contact information, and make it super easy. You want to reduce the friction. Now, landing pages have become the rave, the talk of the town, the absolute thing to do in the past 3 to 5 years. So do landing pages, really have a simplified version of your offer, and get the contact information. So the name, the email, the phone number, the address, whatever you're doing, this is the most versatile. So if you're running this just listed ad, again, as a reminder, what I would do is I would create a single property website that people can go to, and then they're going to give us their contact information. All right. So making sure I have any questions over here that I failed to address. Let me know if you have any questions. As a brief reminder, I'll check over here. I think we're all good. Good. Awesome. Awesome. Great. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Thank you. Let me check over here on this dashboard. I think I can see comments over here. A quick reminder, we are going to go live at 9 a.m. Central going forward. So if you're on the Facebook group, awesome. I'd love to see you there. If you're on YouTube, awesome. Thank you so much for being here as well. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Another brief reminder, we're going to be going live at 9 a.m. on Mondays. So also, another brief reminder, the podcast, the Agent Lead Source podcast, is up and running. So check that out. We would love to have your reviews. Joseph Gonzalez and I are on that podcast. We're the ones that are hosting it and created it. So expect us to go live on Facebook. Again, the groups will be linked down below, and then also on this channel. So with that, since we don't have any more questions, thank you so much for spending a couple of minutes with me. If I can do anything for you, don't hesitate to reach out. But outside of that, I'll see you soon.